Good morning, everyone. I'm Don Infante. I have the honor of being the president of the Regency Oaks Resident Organization. And we're here today to present to you our president's report and our committee reports, and it's our quarterly report. It's something we usually do, once a quarter with all you residents present. But we decided that it'd be better to do the report on TV than not, in fact, have it at all. So the first thing that we're going to do is present an award to our unsung hero. Our unsung hero this quarter is Henry Kwan. And I'm going to ask Henry to come up here and join me. Okay. You are looking at Mr. Henry Kwan, who is 100 years old plus a month and a half. He celebrated his 100th birthday in April of 2020. He has resided at Regency Oaks for 25 years.
15.
Is it 15?
Yes.
Okay, 15. Excuse me. In 1944, Henry was 24 years old when he received his bachelor's degree in civil engineering in China.
Correct.
He was immediately drafted and served until the end of the war in 1945. He was an engineer who was key to building a critical portion of the Burma Road. In 1955, Henry migrated to the United States, where he worked for several engineering companies. In 1975, he moved to St. Petersburg and partnered with a friend to open an engineering office for bridge and road design. He and his wife moved to Regency Oaks in 1995.
Yes.
And among his many activities to numerous residents, with great patience and a calm demeanor, was a master and teacher for Tai Chi for 15 years. We are blessed to have him, and he merits the award as one of our unsung heroes. So Henry, please accept this award on behalf of the Board of Directors.
Thank you so much.
And all the residents as one of our unsung heroes, and thank you for all that you've done for our community. How about a round of applause for him? This good-looking gentleman in front of you is Fred Green. Fred is our Vice President, and he's also the Chief of the Technology Committee. Over here is this good-looking young lady, is Jean Beagles, and she is our secretary who keeps us straight all the time and does great things for us. Our treasurer is Don Hamilton. Don is not only treasurer, but he's chief for the committee, for the Building and Grounds Committee and for the Safety Committee. He's an overworked man, but he's able to do it all, and he does it well. You all know Lou Weisslogel. Okay, Lou is the chairman of our Programs Committee, and he also heads up the Weisslogel Committee, which is an annual award that we do. And on this end, we have Chris Swanson, who is our Finance Committee chairman, and one of our newest board members, but not the newest board member, okay? And then we have Harry Coble. Harry heads up the Employee Gift Fund Committee, and is also our FLICRA president. And our newest board member is none other than Judy Studebaker, okay? Judy's going to head up the Marketing Committee, and we'll be giving you the marketing response. And we're not going to forget this beautiful young lady who's finally back to good health and looking great too, I should say, with her new hairdo. Margaret Henry, who does our Dining Committee and will be given the Dining Committee report. talking about residents who are doing great things in our great community. First of all, last week we had the Scholarship Fund presentations. This was the 4th year of the Scholarship Fund giving, and they presented over $62,000 in scholarship awards. The first year, we only gave about $12,000. This year it was $62,000. That happened because of the generosity of our many residents. I want to thank you for it. So, a big thanks to Judy Studebaker and to the Scholarship Committee for all they've done and that great presentation last week. Thank you, Judy. The Oaks team. Have you ever seen such a consistently, continually superb publication week after week after week? The Oaks team, Johanna Gusick, who is the design editor and edits the copy and selects the photos. Tom Luter, who was the creator of the Oaks. Mary Ellen Garner, who takes care of the calendar and maintains the mailing list and makes sure that you get your copy of the Oaks. Margaret Henry for her menu contribution, and she places hard copies everywhere. And Betty Egray for the thoughtful items and promoting the employee gift funds and reminds us to be patriotic. So if you get a chance and you see one of these staff members, please tell them thank you. Beauty Shop Renovation Committee. Well, we got it done and it's open, but there's still a few things to do. So we're working on those, and we ask you to be patient. And I want to thank the Beauty Shop Committee again, who was led by none other than Jean Beagles and assisted by Linda Rudinger, Ann Tanner, and Ruth Ann Wilsey. Flexibility is the key on that one. And last, I want to thank all of you residents for being a vital part of preventing the virus from hurting our residents. We are, as you know, only have one individual who contracted the virus. He's back home, and thank God is doing well. And so we've been very, very blessed. We owe a special thanks to Brant and all the associates for keeping us safe and healthy, and boy, are we well fed. Okay. Things called change at our great community. I would remind you all that we're just at the initial coming out phase. That we are always about 2 weeks behind what the outside world is up to. So while we are doing well, it's thanks to each one of you, but that battle is not over. We are highly, highly vulnerable people. That's why we're going through all the special things we're doing. That's why Brent and our great staff continues to insist that we do certain things, and we have to remind ourselves that we are in the most vulnerable category. So we're hoping for late July for a return to normal operations. That's up to us, each one of us as residents, how we're going to do. And I would like to announce that we have some progress on our town hall renovation. That the LCS folks have appointed a project manager who is meeting with LCS executives, and they're going to start getting permits. So with a little bit of luck, we'll have some construction starting about September of this year. Margaret, who's going to take care of dining.
Dining Service Committee mission. We act as an advisory group representing all of Regency Oaks independent living residents. We advocate a fine dining service which provides a variety of selections to please most residents' taste in a friendly, attractive, comfortable dining room or a more casual style dining in the tavern and the Tavern in the Oaks. Myself as the chairman, Ricky Bacher, Dining Service Director, Phil Surt, Assistant Dining Service Director, Bobby Belcher, Judy Diver, Walter Guzik, Edie James, Brenda Jones, Dee Culp, Linda Rudiger, and Judy Studebaker. Thank you to all those people and the hard work they've done. 2020, we have accomplished providing 3 meals a day when the coronavirus caused the Florida stay-at-home order by the governor. Now breakfast, lunch, and dinner are provided. We now have a second option in the grill for a grab-and-go meal. Also, the tavern's been added for a grab-and-go for lunch. Kitchen staff, servers, and management are doing an excellent job of getting food to residents. And they started a 2 o'clock parade on Wednesday. It was We Miss You to boost morale, and we even made it on television. Dining services objectives for the rest of the year include opening the dining room with the health of the residents in mind, also to open the tavern with the health of the residents in mind, start special events again like gourmet, grill with the steak, and with the health of the residents in mind, and then explain the 1 meal a day plan in small meetings before the implementation of the program. Now I'd like to introduce Don Hamilton, and he will be talking about his committee, the Buildings and Grounds.
The Buildings and Grounds Committee mission is, it shall act as an advocacy group for all Regency Oaks residents in both independent living and Regency Oaks healthcare that have site-wide common applicability to their residents. Darwin Perez, the maintenance director, is a member. Also Gene Beagles, Don Graham, Ed Hawks, Earl Kerr, Joe Timmons, and Mike White. And I also appreciate their contribution to the Buildings and Grounds Committee. Accomplishments this year. We've had some progress on hot water in the South Building, Potomac Wing, a partial fix. As many of you know, we have been working on the hot water situation in the South Building. Sometimes low pressure and often it took excessive time to receive a steady stream of water. In late 2019, new circulating pumps were ordered to replace the almost 30-year-old original equipment. They arrived in early March and were promptly installed. There has been some improvement, but the early risers still have a wait until hot water arrives. Virus containment activity has impacted our resident reporting. If you experience a hot water problem, please call and report your problem to either Brant, Darwin, or me. If you are experiencing a problem, plumbing repairs or remodeling may be impacting and can cause the problem, but that can be quickly fixed. We had resolved manpower issues. We were at first at full strength early on during the last 3 months, but we've now got a couple of vacancies. I want to recognize the job that George has done, and we wish him well in his new opportunity. Communication has been better thanks to weekly maintenance meetings and Penelope Navarro providing residents information on their work orders. The work order backlog was reduced, and we've had good coordination with housekeeping on Khufu issues. I'd like to say the grounds look fantastic. Much appreciation and a great job from from Corey and the Suncoast crew. A maintenance department reorganization occurred when normal community contacts 2020. Once again, the first one was to resolve the hot water problems in the south building. Implement an air conditioning preventive maintenance program. But the ability to do preventive maintenance is governed by a staff knowledge and workload. We expect to have a significant number of routine work orders for needed service to handle when the maintenance employees are again permitted to return to work in the residence apartments, so that will be delayed. We want better communication, and we will be keeping you advised on the new work activities as they impact our campus. The mission of the Health and Safety Committee is to be aware of and to note any situations or actions within the Regency Oaks community that could impact the health, safety, comfort, and quality of life of our fellow residents. Myself as chairman, Leslie Haas as the Resident Services Director, Chris Senakakowicz, the Innovative Home Services Director, Millie Diaz, Robin Graham, Nancy Johnson, Karen Lee, Dick Montgomery, Phyllis Mansour, John Myers, Toby Sugar, and Lois Thorne. I appreciate their dedication and concern about safety and health on the Regency Oaks campus.
Yep.
Okay? You give me a signal?
I'm ready.
The successful launch of styrofoam recycling, the partnership with Publix. Styrofoam recycling with Publix began in 2019 and continued successfully into March, but with the 100% meal delivery to residents' apartments, Regency Oaks volumes of used but clean styrofoam soared in mid-March, and the program was put on hold. We plan resumption when we can again dine in our pre-virus dining facilities. The ongoing education for residents, staff, and aides about Regency Oaks recycling programs is put on hold temporarily until the residents can gather. The new resident introduction and education about Regency Oaks services, that continued. Under the social distancing shut down committee activities in March. However, the important information on the health service available to both existing and new residents continue to be supplied by Leslie Haas, Resident Services Director. She initiated contacts with new residents as they arrived to be sure they had knowledge on health or service issues in their possession. The committee is again meeting. We met in May and June, and we're monitoring ongoing safety issues. We will begin maintaining ongoing education regarding campus recycling efforts, and our goal is to develop a system of systems that assures prompt residents' notification of issues or information when it is required. Reporting on the Finance Committee.
The Finance Committee's mission is basically to monitor the finances each month. It's been interesting this year with all the change in ownership. Bobby Belcher, Fred Green, Don Hamilton, Bill Moscadini, Ed Newton, Lou Weisslogel, and C.L. Wilmot. And Sherry, our financial director, is our liaison. If you have any questions to ask about finance, you can contact anybody on this committee. We continue to have meetings via Zoom and social distancing. The virus hasn't affected financial reporting. Finances continue. Money is spent and money is received. Now, how it's spent is totally different. We've reviewed the last month, which is January, of Brookdale's monthly report, and the first 3 months of LCS's ownership, February, March, and April. The review of May is coming up. Our objectives, well, to learn the new accounting system, which is going well, and we're going to continue reviewing the monthly financial reports and quarterly financial presentations. We're going to review Brookdale's financial audit for 2019. That'll be done later this month. Next month, we'll be conducting a presentation for the monthly service fee adjustment. And finally, we're going to review the Regency Oaks capital budget and advise, which means prioritizing, and list the jobs where the majority of residents get the most value. Now we go to Lou Weisslogel of Resident Activities.
The Resident Activities Committee mission, of course, is to provide activities working with Tiffany and Ginger, and to listen to our residents to provide a well-rounded program of activities. The committee consists of Tiffany and Ginger, Millie Diaz, Betty Egray, Mary Ann Gardner, Marion Green, Bill Muscadini, Lorraine Muscadini, Rita Singer, Ann Tanner, and Adrian Terrace. And of course, I'm the chairperson of that committee. What have we accomplished so far this year? Well, due to the virus, activities have been severely curtailed. What we've seen, however, is an expanded use of Channel 732 to provide daily information to the residents about the virus, and to expand our movie offerings, offering daily matinees and expanded evening series. What do we hope to do for the rest of the year? Well, we hope to provide a variety of activities, and the good news is that we've now been able to expand a lot of the small group activities which started this week. But hopefully, we hope to return all our activities and programs that were in place prior to the virus, assuming that we keep the health of the residents in mind. It's now my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Studebaker and the Marketing Committee.
Judy Studebaker. The mission statement of the Sales and Marketing Committee is to contribute to maximizing the occupancy rate and utilizing the ambassador program to help achieve this goal. I chair this committee. Amy Waugh, Director of Sales and Marketing, is on it. Jean Beagles, Eleanor Finn, Fred Green, Dick Montgomery, Ed Newton, Peggy Patterson, Ann Siraj, and Chris Swanson. Due to the virus pandemic, all on-site marketing tours and events are temporarily suspended. The ambassadors have assisted in developing virtual content to utilize during the pandemic. A couple of those situations, Chris Swanson did one in the garden, and Linda and Ed Newton had a virtual tour of their apartment. We have created welcome videos from ambassadors for new residents prior to move-in. Ready? Mm-hmm. I did some videos saying, welcome, John and Jane. I understand you're going to be moving into Regency Oaks soon. Wayne and I have lived here 7.5 years, and we absolutely love it. It's like living on a cruise ship without the water, and we look forward to having you as neighbors. We now have the highest occupancy rate in the history of Regency Oaks. Or to have the ambassador program remaining active, implementing a new program to assist prospects in their trial stay, having ambassadors show them around and to see what all is available for them when they move here. We want to develop a new program for marketing committee members to assist with new resident orientation. New residents already have a buddy with a supervisor, but the supervisors are very busy, so we would like to have a member of our marketing committee be a buddy for a month or so and show them around and remind them of dining hours and all of the events that are available for them. And then we want to keep the occupancy rates as high as possible. And I will introduce Harry Coble to you.
I'm Harry Coble. I'm the chairperson of your Employee Gift Fund. And basically our mission is to establish policy and procedures to operate the Employee Gift Fund. Next slide. If you notice, you can read the names of the committee members, but I want to let you know that each and every member are important. If you have a comment, suggestion, or whatever, please contact one of those, or you can contact me. We might not know the answer immediately, but I promise you, we will get you an answer and get back with you. Next slide, please. Our accomplishments, we published the EGF policy and procedures letter. Normally it goes out every January. This next one will probably, if we're here for 1,000 years, probably will stay on. Communications, communications, communications. I've tried it, the informal grapevine. I started at one end of Regency Oaks, and it was completely changed before it got to the other end. So please, if you hear something, if it's not verifiable, call one of us, and we will get your answer for you, the correct answer. Last year, the employees were very beneficial. You can see how much we raised almost 100% of the goal, which was $200,000. Next slide, please. Our objectives, of course, publish the policy and procedures that we will follow. Communications, we didn't change the daily amount. It's still $350 for couples and $250 for singles. We have 6 EGF donation boxes. We have 2 in the north, 2 in the south, and 2 in the tavern. And we did not change our goal for 2000. Some of the things I want to talk about now is we presently, the scholarship is over with, so we started a little bit, hopefully to raise money for the fund. We have a resident in the South who made a CD for us. It's very easily listening music. I would encourage you, they're both out in the North and South. $10, purchase one for you, purchase one for a family member, whatever, makes good gifts, and we'll appreciate the donation. And again, you see the rest. And the second thing I want to talk about, we have established an ad hoc committee to look at how EGF funds will be distributed, especially when we get the new assisted living facility. It may be 21, maybe 22, maybe 23. We don't know. So we're looking at, are we doing the right thing for our valuable associates? And we're going to look at that. Ed Newton's in charge of that. So if you've got any suggestions, please let Ed Newton know, or myself. One thing I'd like to let you know a little bit, not everybody gives to the Employee Gift Fund. I understand that. We have some that give way above the amount suggested, which is wonderful. We have some that give what they can, and we appreciate that. But approximately 51% of the residents of Regency Oaks give nothing. So let me remind those who do not give, don't hold it against our associates because you think they should be paid more. They have nothing to do with that. You're punishing them by not donating to the Employee Gift Fund. And the final thing I have, a lot of you got your stimulus check. Some of you didn't need it, be honest. I had a lady call me and said, listen, I thought about this. I want to give my stimulus to the Employee Gift Fund. She wanted to know how to do it. I explained it. But there's some of you out there that probably same situation. Maybe you don't need all of it. What a wonderful way to show your appreciation to employees, especially during this difficult time. you think it's tough on us, but it's also tough on them. Thank you very much. Fred Green, who will be briefing.
Our mission of the Technology and Communication Committee is self-explanatory. This committee is charged with the responsibility to work with all matters related to technology and communication that affect the residents of Regency Oaks. Next slide. Normally, I would ask each member of this committee to stand and be recognized. Instead, I will say, if you have any questions or comments about our committee, please contact me or any person on this list. As with all the committees this year, we've had problems and been seriously interrupted by COVID-19. Nevertheless, we have a few things we can talk about. The basic concept of the TV studio at Regency Oaks is finished and is waiting for an opportunity to make one final review and proceed. The success of the iPad providing the COVID-19 reports, and in fact the report of this meeting, has caused us to look again perhaps at our proposal. Interviews have begun for replacement of Spectrum at the end of their contract. Our goals for this project are: first, we cannot reduce service. In other words, we don't want to do any harm with what we pick. Secondly, it must contain all the features of VCTV to include movies, public notices, and so forth, as well as multiple channels and the ability to work and be simple to operate. Third, cost increases, if any, must be kept at a minimum, keeping in mind that we're reviewing things to replace 30-year-old technology here at Regency Oaks and to provide the best telephone, video, and internet service currently available to the residents of Regency Oaks. The committee is about to begin testing of the new system, which will facilitate communication at Regency Oaks. For instance, this would be something that would allow you to enter work orders in your apartment, and this has all been delayed because of the COVID-19, but this problem is going to be addressed shortly and the test will begin. Planning will soon be done for the updates of the audiovisual system in the new town hall. It's our understanding that this project is moving rapidly. Solar power at Regency Oaks has been talked about for some time, and this may be the year when we really get involved with the help of LCS. We constantly look for ways of improving communications at Regency Oaks. This year, communications is one of the 5 top objectives of RORO discussed in a previous presentation. For example, we need to expand VCTV to its full capacity and begin to seriously implement a resident-based television plan of action at Regency Oaks. Thank you for your time and attention.
See if we can wrap this thing up. And first of all, I want to thank you all for your attention. I would remind you all that this is the initial phase of the coming out of the COVID-19 battle. We have to stay tough. We have to remember to be very careful when we go out. We have to remember to wear masks when required. So I ask you all to hang in there and stay tough, because this battle is a long way from over. So the battle is not over for COVID-19 yet. and we are the most extremely vulnerable people. I would remind you that your board is moving ahead in all these areas in spite of the virus. And if you have any questions, please submit your questions to any board member and we will get you an answer. So I thank you all for your attention and I thank you for being a part of our program, and we look forward to getting back together as a group very, very soon.